In a thrilling episode, the Handmaids and June Osborne pull off a daring plan to use drug cake at Commander Wharton and Serena's wedding to incapacitate the commanders. The assault is led by June, who reclaims the red cloak as a symbol of resistance. June ultimately kills Commander Bell and saves Janine. After seeing the aftermath and hearing Janine and June's stories of pain, Aunt Lydia, who had been distrustful of the handmaid's behavior at first, changes her mind. After Lydia realizes she was involved in the crimes committed by Gilead, she rebels against the Guardians and implicitly backs the Handmaid's uprising. The hypocrisy and intrinsic cruelty of Gilead's system are brought to light when Serena Joy Waterford, Commander Wharton's newlywed wife, learns of his desire for a handmaid. After seeing the Handmaid's massive insurrection and becoming disillusioned with Wharton, Serena may change her loyalty and form an alliance with June to defeat Gilead. Review of full episode. It wasn't a red wedding. It was more subtle than that. Subtler than blood-hungry fans were probably hoping. Who else was holding their breath for the Handmaids to burst into that posh ballroom like a tumultuous tempest of anime-style swordplay, gore, and exposed teeth, unleashing a scream frenzy upon the commanders? This is it. I couldn't help but wonder as the delicate, subdued wedding scenes continued. This is it. Today never arrived. As opposed to a cacophony of chaos and carnage, we witnessed solitary handmaids discreetly disband from their squad and sculpt toward the dozing commander within his own residence. Unlike the fairies in Enchanted Realm, Calhoun and company slept it off instead of puking all over the dance floor as their stomachs turned to mush from devouring Rita's cake. The commander's massacre was orderly, precise, and unobtrusive. Not even the scolding of prize pig Bell could be heard. The assassin call exchange, June Osborne, "Nice to meet you," and the knife to the eye were the only signs of delight in his murder. The amount of emotion June betrayed would have made her seem like she was offering Bell a discount flyer outside a store. The message was loud and clear. This was serious business, not play. And the execution was as regimented as an army's drills. Instead of June and Moira, soldiers fleeing to safety, they would be lying lifeless in an industrial digger bucket, their bodies tossed into a mass grave after being shot to death, like the women at the penthouse. If my wish for a wedding brawl had been granted, I think this was the smarter move. Also, compared to what I had hoped for, this episode by Dana Reed and Yu Chong was superior. It was less graphic, but just as exciting, and it hinged on two long-awaited character moments. Aunt Lydia acknowledged her role in the wrong side of history and eventually quit quoting Bible texts. Serena finally got it right. After all that hemming and hawing over her bungled sociological experiment, a good man cannot simultaneously serve as commander of Gilead. One cannot live without the other. She is again back to her season-opening predicament, on a run with a baby in tow. And Dowd's dreamlike performance of Lydia's surrender was the main attraction. Between June's appeal to her faith and Janine's unnerving maternal preoccupation with her special girl, they were able to accomplish their goal. After years of repressing her outrage at the commander's brutality and torture of her kids, Lydia admitted that Gilead was not God's will. Instead of viewing herself as a prison guard, she had always thought of herself as a rescuer for the handmaids. Now that she isn't obstructing their flight, she may almost defend herself as both. The plot of Exodus was extremely narrowly defined. With the exception of the phone call that Commander Bell had received, no one knew if the larger attack on Gilead had begun, or if Mark's forces had crossed the border, or if Luke's bombs had gone off. That wedding fit a royal family nearly perfectly. Just so you know, Serena, even Harry and Meghan wouldn't have dared to bring in a cake so enormous that the entire cast of our show could have dared to jump out of it while doing the can-can. When it came to staging, Serena spared no expense. Royal thrones, pennants, chandeliers, etc. It was almost spot-on Queen of Gilead. Without a doubt, she spoke to her subjects with the arrogance befitting a queen. Serena was making an enormous effort, but she was misfiring like a school counselor sitting on her chair backwards. Her speech to the handmaids was practically a scene from The Office. A high-tension moment during which June attempted to blend in with the crowd, She had the nerve to think that Lawrence's nervousness was due to his fear of losing her crucial assistance once they were married. We were the ones who were nervous, not Lawrence. Unable to speak out during the ceremony, he was compelled to sit quietly and wait for the revolution to begin. In the characteristically controlled, symmetrical, Kubrickian manner of this program, revolution ensued. Thanks to the striking images and striking prose, the Boston handmaids have rebelled, and Gilead seems to be on the brink of destruction. There's still 2 episodes more to go, and Hannah is still missing, but that last monologue from June as the women raced out of the Red Center and into the snow could have ended the whole series. Stray questions and final sparks. Stray questions. Is Serena ever going to be able to join the resistance? As she slumbers on the street holding her infant, will she be hoisted into the army? Was a knife also given to Christina? Was the cake consumed by Gabriel? Can his bodyguard prevent him from killing? Will the handmaid accompany Nick on his outing? Or did we really need to witness him play the Gilead game so flawlessly before we decided to cut ties with him for good? Who will remember the wives who did nothing while their husbands perished? Given that their game, no matter how brutal, was also a means of survival, are they granted grace, or are they expected to join their husbands? The next wave of brutality may wash this moment away, but will it matter then? Would Boston be the first domino to fall if it were to be released?